All right. Hello, everyone. All right. So I think we can just get started. I think most of you are in. So before we get into any of these, let's have a small quick introduction of everyone. So would be awesome if you guys could just say what you work on, what is your level on Hadoop, and what exactly are you looking out from this particular course. That will be awesome. Just three things: what do you work on, how much you know of Hadoop, and what is that you expect out of this course. That will be really awesome, so that we can eventually, when let's say hypothetically we all work together as a batch, I'll be able to basically customize a course a bit based on your goals. Okay, so let's get started. We have Ben, the first. Ben, can you please introduce yourself? I'll unmute you. Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Could you just?
I'm the IT manager for RMS. I know the general concepts of Hadoop, but I'd like a better understanding of, the more intricate details.
Okay.
What it's capable of, how it's used, how it's installed, configured, etc.
Okay. Welcome, Ben, and certainly this course, by the end of this course, you'll certainly have all the nuts and bolts and how it all works. We'll make sure that it gets there. All right. Thanks,
Okay,
Brian.
sounds good. Thank you.
Brian, yeah. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the course. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi. Yes, I'm a solutions manager for Unisys Corporation and Enterprise Servers, and I just wanted a general understanding. I have a general understanding of Hadoop, but I just wanted to listen in to be more familiar.
Okay, some more details of Hadoop. Sure, Brian. Welcome to the course. Hi, Gary. Please go ahead, and it would be awesome if you could just introduce yourself. Yeah, Gary. Hi, Gary. In case, Gary, your mic has a problem or somebody's mic has a problem, please introduce yourself on chat and I shall basically introduce you to the group. So if at all your mic has a problem, feel free to put it on chat and I shall do them. So I guess Gary's mic has a problem. Let's go with Hari. Hi, Hari. Yeah, Hari, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Hi, Hari. Hi, Hari. We are not able to hear you. All right, Hari, feel free to, yeah, go ahead, Hari. Yeah.
Ravi, actually, my name is, by mistake was not Harry. My name is Rajesh, actually.
Okay.
Before, someone is using my system maybe because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm a Teradata and ETL developer. So basically, I'm new to this technology Hadoop, so I just want to enhance my skills. So I'm taking this training because of that.
Sure. Welcome, Rajesh, to the course. Yeah. Hi, Kiana. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Hi, Kina. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead, Kina.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay,
please go ahead.
I'm actually new to Hadoop, right? So I'm actually want to use the session to see what it does and all that, and see how I'll be able to, be a professional and using Hadoop and all that. But somehow I know it's related to big data, and I'm just getting into the big data industry. So this will sound like an introduction, kind of.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Thanks. Welcome to the course, Ikina. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, James. Please go ahead. Hi, James. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a consultant for software development networking and OpenStack. I think OpenStack may have some other function later. So I'd like to know the other networking correlations.
I have lost the last one. So more on Hadoop and
Hadoop and its networking.
okay.
I think Hadoop needs some networking for the some maps or something like that. I don't know Hadoop enough, so.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Not a problem. We
Okay.
will have that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Mr. Lerner. Yeah, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Hello. Yeah, Mr. Lerner. Yeah, if in case your mic has a problem, please go ahead and do it on chat. So we have Madhu, who's introduced himself on chat, and we have Sam. All right. So I guess Learner's mic has a problem. Yes, Manjeet. Please go ahead, Manjeet. Hi, Manjeet. So Manjeet is a Java programmer and excited to learn Hadoop. Then we have Mr. Michael. Hi, Michael. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Hi, Michael. Yeah, Michael. Michael, we are not able to hear you, so maybe there's some lot of background noise. So what I would request is, yeah, Michael, if you could introduce yourself on chat. There's a lot of background voice. Yeah, hi, Narsimha. Okay, so we have Narsimha's introduction here. So Narsimha is an out and out ETL guy. We have Michael, we haven't. Then we have Gary. Okay, so that's Mr. Michael. Yeah, guys, please keep on introducing yourself on chat because we have another. I think the list will go on. So I guess yeah, please put on chat and I shall introduce everyone because I guess we have 30 odd guys. So we're going to spend like a chunk of time just introducing. So please go ahead and put it on chat and I'll introduce you to the group as in when we go ahead. All right. So we have Michael, we have Ravina. Yes. Ravina. So she is a fresher. Then we have Gary. We have Gary here and okay. Michael, Gary. Okay, awesome. So we are done with Sam, done with Ravina, Rafael, Ramesh and Rafael. Okay, we have good amount of members. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead and keep on introducing on the chat because I guess we have like we'll spend another 30 minutes introducing everyone. So let's go on, and as we go on, I'll continue. Basically putting everyone's introduction. All right. So now let's talk about what exactly is this course about. So this is Hadoop development and administration course. Okay, the course is gonna be 40 hours. And by the time the course ends, you'll basically know what is development, what is admin, how development is done. We do cover a lot of BI also. So let's talk about that. All right. So let's look at what exactly is the syllabus. So what we do is we start this course with talking about what is big data. Okay, the first thing we talk about is what is big data. Then we talk about what is HDFS, what is MapReduce. Then we get into Hadoop ecosystem. We talk about Pig, Hive, Plume, Scoop, Uzi, and so on and so forth. Then we will give you a pre-bundled a virtual machine which will just have CentOS and Hadoop. You'll need to set up yourself in the class, and you will be running programs on MapReduce, Scoop, Plume, and Hive. Then we have multi-node setup, where we will basically purchase 3 machines on Amazon, and we will set up a complete end-to-end multi-node cluster, and we'll run some programs on a multi-node cluster. Then we talk about planning your Hadoop cluster. So basically, what is that first thing that should hit your head when you are thinking of starting a Hadoop cluster or Hadoop project? Day 7, we talk more on doing a complete end-to-end code review of a word count program. Day 8, we will dive deep into MapReduce API. We'll talk about common MapReduce, patterns, and we have a lot of hands-on on Pig, Hive, and MapReduce. So we'll talk about Pig and Hive, so that's for like ETL guys, and we'll just touch base on latest stuff like YARN, federation, authentication, high availability. And last week goes deep into administration. So you have all the admin stuff. By the end of the course, you have good amount of tests. Okay. Awesome. So this is the course. Let me quickly outline you how exactly the whole thing will get orchestrated. So the first chapter, or the first phase of this course, we call it as phase 1, which is Hadoop fundamentals. Okay, so this is like the first phase of the course, where what we talk about is what is big data. We talk about what is Hadoop. We talk about what is, okay, by the way, let me just increase the font size. So we talk about what is Hadoop. We talk about what is HDFS, what is MapReduce. We talk about Hadoop ecosystem. We talk about a deeper dive in HDFS and MapReduce. That's phase 1 of your course. Phase 2 is where we call it as your hands-on. So what we do is we say we install Hadoop in a sudo distributed mode. We run MapReduce, run Hive, run Scoop. We run Hive, Scoop, Plume. So this is where you will do good amount of hands-on on what you've learned so far. The phase 3 is, it's important, is multi-node setup. A multi-node setup is simple. Get 3 machines on Amazon and set up a multi-node cluster. Phase 4 is hardcore planning. Okay, so Here you will talk about what is that you should be thinking when starting a Hadoop project. So we talk about hardware, we talk about software, we talk about network, we talk about OS and configs. So you start with fundamentals, you get your hands dirty, you feel comfortable, then you do the real stuff, multi-node setup. Then we've kind of touched the surface of it, we've done a multi-node setup. Now let's understand how do you go about it. Phase 5 of the course is you wearing a developer's hat. Okay, it's out and out the phase where you will do MapReduce, more MapReduce, and more advanced MapReduce. Phase 5 of your course is you wearing a PI guy's hat. So you do pig, you do hive, you do pig and hive, and so on. We take Pentaho or Talend, preferably Talend, for doing ETL on Hadoop. So right in here, we'll fire up Pentaho or Talend, connect to Hadoop cluster, and perform all our transformations. And phase 6 is you wearing an administrator's hat. What we talk about is scheduling, monitoring, cluster maintenance. Phase 7 and the last phase, actually it's an ongoing phase. Ongoing phase. So you have, it's an ongoing phase, and it's basically continuous validated learning. So after phase 3, you have a 20-mark test. After phase 5, you have a 70-mark test. You heard it right, it's 70-mark test. And after phase 7, you have a 70-mark test. So you've got to score at least 70% in all of them. So that is how in this 7 phases the whole course is divided, and there'll be a lot of learning around. Yes, so we will let you know the schedule. So Gary's question is, what about schedule? For now, all I could say is that we are, still we'll get you the final thing, but typically it will be 90 minutes to 2 hours every day on a weekday, and extended class on a weekend. Overall, it's going to be a 40-hour affair, and it's going to be overall 3 weeks affair. So does it answer your question, Gary? So having said that, yeah, we will let you know that I think you have 8 phases. Oops, is it? Okay. Yeah. 6, 7, 8. So 8 chapters of our life. All right. So Gary, does it answer your question? So typically it will be 90 minutes to 2 hours based on this thing, and we'll have extended class on weekend. Overall gonna be a 3 weeks affair. All right. So let's get started with a small sneak peek of the presentation. So any questions on the course content? Everyone clear with that? Okay. So let's quickly have a small sneak peek of the presentation for like 15-20 minutes, and then I'll open up for questions. So any questions, any and every questions on Hadoop, feel free to ask, and I should be able to basically answer you. I will try my best to answer you. I'm not like a guru or something, but whatever I know, I'll try my best to answer you. All right, so let's have a small sneak peek of a presentation. Oh, no. So I have a question from Pradeep. I'll just take it up. What about NoSQL databases? Well, honestly, it's not part of this course, but we have another course for that. Having said that, we can certainly have a 2 hours sneak peek on NoSQL guys like Cassandra, MongoDB, and Headspace. All right. To cover any real-time challenges with implementation, I can only talk of the projects that I have done, so I don't know how much will that be of help. But yeah, I worked on 3 projects. I can talk about not exactly about what I was doing in the project, but the challenges that you would typically face in a project. No, Pradeep. So Pradeep's question is it possible to give an overview of Vertica? No, Pradeep. If you would already see that the course is jam-packed, so probably this NoSQL databases also would be introduced. So it's like it'll be an additional thing. So Vertica, yeah, I mean it'll be slightly tough to cover that part. All right. So let's get ahead and start the presentation. So, so this is like the first, the first presentation or the first couple of sessions is this presentation. I'll run you through for like some 15-20 minutes to give you that sneak peek, and I'll open up for questions. So in this section, we are going to talk about a small introduction. I'll talk to you about what exactly is big data. I'll tell you what is Hadoop. We'll talk about the Hadoop ecosystem. Then we'll talk about a deeper dive into HDFS and MapReduce. And finally, I'll take up questions. Sorry, my kid is really naughty, so please don't mind. So let's start with a small introduction. So in this particular, whole presentation, we'll start with, I'll introduce you guys to big data. I'll introduce you to Hadoop. I'll explain how Hadoop works, get friendly with HDFS and MapReduce, get aware of Hadoop ecosystem, and understand how exactly Hadoop is used in real world. Myself, my name is Ravi. Soon gonna be 8 years of IT experience, 2 years of corporate trainings, and Cloudera certified Hadoop developer, Cloudera certified Hadoop administrator, and I'm certified on various technologies like Java and PHP. Soon appearing for HBase certification, so maybe by the time we are meeting in the class, I might be HBase certified. Who knows? If at all I clear. So that's my profile. Now let's talk about what is big data. Before we get into big data, let's understand why big data deserves our attention. This being a weekend, so important part of our life, we all are here talking about big data on a weekend. Why is it? So as per IDC, big data market will be $24 billion by 2016. So in 3 years from now, we are talking about $24 billion. Big data would create 4.4 million new jobs by 2015. So we are talking of 4.4 new million roles and jobs in say 2 years from now. And let's not talk of 2 years, future is all people would say anything, but as of this very moment, while we are talking here in this particular session, United States alone is facing a shortage of 200,000 big data professionals. So whether you're a startup, big data is for you, because that's where the next big wave of opportunity is there. If you are a seasoned professional who's looking for next big thing, big data is the place. Or if you are a project manager in a very big company and looking for next big thing to basically drive revenues for your unit, big data is the thing. So big data has something for everyone. Now we have a question that is this presentation available for download? Not right now, but probably after the class starts, it will all be made available to you guys. At the same time, Gary, you can very well see this whole presentation on YouTube. If you want, I can just pass on the link. So anytime your convenience, you can just look at that particular video. So Ramesh's question is, what is IDC? It's Internet Data Corporation. These are the folks who basically collect numbers on internet and on the web, and they basically publish their findings. So now let's talk about what exactly is big data. Big data is the amount of data. So in the nutshell, let's say you have all the resources, you have all the money, but still there is a limit of how much hardware can you buy on a single physical machine. Okay, so big data is basically amount of data that is beyond the storage and processing capabilities of a single physical machine. In the most layman terms, big data is any amount of data that is beyond storage and processing capabilities of one single machine. On a single machine, yeah, you can have a few gigs of RAM, a few hundred gigs of RAM, if at all that server is available for you, and you have a few terabytes of hard drive, but the data that you're talking about is in hundreds of terabytes. So basically the first dimension of big data is volume. Volume typically gets massive. Now second thing is variety. So far we've always looked at data from a perspective that it's in rows and columns. So if I pick up a phone and say, hey man, I'm having a lot of data, we typically visualize data as rows and columns. But what big data talks about is data can be just about anything. It can just be anything. Can be JSONs, XMLs, tweets, Facebook posts. It can just be anything, and you are out there to basically manage that data. And the third thing is velocity. Velocity means data gets generated in your system super fast. It just comes. Look at Facebook. I mean, per day, how many click streams they have how many likes, photos getting uploaded. The amount of data that they generate is massive. Okay, so these are three characteristics of big data. So 3 V's of big data. Forrester has said about it. IBM speaks about it. It's volume, variety, and velocity. For data to be referred as big data, the data volume has to be massive. Variety is another dimension, which is data to be referred as big data. Generally, data would be semi-structured and may just come from anywhere and everywhere. And the velocity is basically data comes in your system super fast. Let's crudely look at big data. You have a very good machine, but data exceeds that. That's volume. Data comes to you at tremendous speed. It's velocity. And data comes to you from variety of sources, and that's variety. 3 V's of big data. So this is big data. Big data is massive amount of data, volume, variety, and velocity. This is the framework that defines that, okay, this is big data. Now, over the period of time, while I've been teaching students, they've had a lot of questions, and I'm basically, collecting all that knowledge, and basically I'm using those questions to paint that complete picture. I'm sure my students will not sue me for putting their question here. Okay, so the first question is, well, big data is clear. We understand it's a lot of data, blah, 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 all that stuff. But how does this data look like? Can I see something and say this is big data? Well, the answer is there is no defined set as to how big data looks like. Big data can look anything like an RFID system generated file, a web log, a user interaction log, can be a transaction history, tweets, climate sensor data. It can just be anything. Anything that's data that's massive, may have variety and volume and velocity, is big data. So there isn't a written rule. What do we do with this data? Analyze this data. The tough part is, what's the value in taking the pain and analyzing this data? My business runs on my transactional data. I have my customer data. I know his purchase history. I know what he's doing with my system. You are asking me to basically acquire new hardware, train new people, maybe recruit new people, and set up a different unit. For what? Why should I do that? Because already my data is running on my my business is running on transactional data, and trust me, we are doing fine. So why should I take the pain? Well, in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of vital information stay. Okay, analyzing this data can give your business an edge over the competitors. Analyzing this semi-structured data that's all over the place can really take your business notches higher. The best example is Amazon. I mean, the way they analyze your data, just like you search for an Xbox game, the system figures out, okay, this guy probably happens to be a gamer, and you see all the recommendations around gaming. You end up buying a diaper for a 1-year-old kid of yours. Now Amazon figures out, okay, this guy basically has a kid, and you see the whole site gets centered around baby products. And most often you end up buying stuff that you never thought of, that you never knew it existed, but you end up looking at those recommendations and you end up buying it. That's how companies are utilizing data. So the next generation of wars between businesses will not be really product or something, it will be data. The company that has more data is going to win, which is hands down. I mean, if you look at another example, it's way too early to say, but if you compare Apple Siri with Google's, Google's voice search, you would see that Google really takes all your inputs and it analyzes on a larger set of data, and that's why they typically are more accurate than typically the Apple Siri. And last year they won Innovation of the Year. Now look at Apple Siri. How Apple Siri really works is it has a prefixed database, and it basically mines that database to give you the result, but it isn't really doing that fantastic job with the data. So that is where you see that companies who are playing well with data are going to really emerge clear winners. Now, the next thing, can we have some use cases of analyzing big data? Well, there are hundreds of it. I mean, like just find the web, you just see so many. Identifying customers who are most important on a variety of parameters, identifying the best time to perform a maintenance based on usage patterns, analyzing your brand's reputation by analyzing social media posts. So there are so many other use cases that can be, the web will talk about it. Okay, all that is fine. How can such huge data be analyzed? Now, as the volume is beyond the processing and the storage ability of a single physical machine, some distributed way has to be used. So we all agree that fine, the amount of data that we need to process is beyond a single machine. That means we need to have a team of machines doing something together, some magic together to get us our output. So we need some way of distributing stuff and doing our job. So, wait, distributed systems like MPP, MPI, RMI, Corba have been around for more than a decade. So do we even need to see this presentation? So, this trainer is talking about distributed systems which have been existing for like 15 years now. during our graduation, we've written exams on distributed system, and we are talking of distributed system. And all that is fine. Does the world really need another distributed system? Does the world really need another distributed system? Well, the answer is yes. The world certainly needs another distributed system, and it's important that we all know about it. Let's see why. Now, a typical distributed system that existed or that has been existing that we've known, okay, looks something like this. You typically have your app servers. Let's say you have 10 terabytes of data on your storage area network. You fire up 10 machines. Each app server will read 1 terabyte of data, process that data, write it back. Okay, so each server is going to do that and write the data back. So the flow is programs run on each app server. All the data is on SAN. Before execution, each server gets the data from SAN, and after execution, each server writes the output to the SAN. So this has been existing, it's matured, it's working, but this had some problems. Let's see what problems there were. The first and most important problem was there was immense dependency on network and huge bandwidth demands. Your storage area network has 10 terabytes of data. You're going to read all 10 terabytes on your network. Your network is going to choke up. Scaling up and scaling down is not a smooth process. You were a programmer, I gave you code to write for a typical distributed system, and I told you it will work on 3 machines. Can I add another 2000 machines and will it still work the same way? Not exactly. As a programmer, you had to take some kind of factors of, you know, the scalability. Partial failures are difficult to handle. So, well, you're working on a distributed system that has 100 machines. What if machine number 88 goes down? As a developer, you'll have to take care of it. A lot of processing power is spent on transporting data. So a lot of you know, processing power is spent on, a lot of the muscle power is really spent on transporting data. And data synchronization is required during exchange. So what if the data gets updated, what the other machines are doing just to be in sync? There is a lot of energy spent on those things. So because a typical distributed system had all these problems, there were 2 factors. First, as a programmer, your job was to basically analyze some data. But what have you been doing? You've been focusing on scalability, partial failures. It's not really your business logic. Okay. So because that was the case, the maintenance was massive on distributed systems, and it never took off. If you see, maybe few government agencies use them, a few big corporations in pockets use them, but distributed systems as in a concept have never become a household name. And that is where world needed another distributed system. We all needed another distributed system. And that is where Mr. Hadoop comes in. Mr. Hadoop is, in simple, it's just another distributed system that basically takes care of all these disadvantages and makes life simple for an administrator or a developer to basically maintain the whole thing. So far what we've seen is the big picture of what is big data, how do you go about analyzing it, why don't you use typical distributed systems, because the problems, and then that's where Hadoop comes in. So we've seen problems with typical distributed system, we've seen what is a typical distributed system, we've seen what is big data, we've seen why big data deserves our attention. And that brings us to the topic, end of topic, what is big data. So next topic is what is Hadoop, where we talk of what is Hadoop, what is HDFS, what is MapReduce. But we will kind of stop here and open up the floor for questions. So let your questions come in and I'll be more than happy to answer to best of my abilities. So yeah, thanks for this 20 odd minutes. I guess it gave you some sneak peek of how this course is orchestrated and what exactly you're going to learn in this particular course. Yeah, so the floor is open for questions, guys. Go ahead. Do we have a special for developer? So the question is, So do you have a special batch for is the question, and as of now, no. So yeah, we kind of work towards making sure that everybody gets the whole angle of it. So the perspective of this, or honestly, the motive of this course is Hadoop is new, and our goal was to basically get you from 0 to 100, okay, in such a way that after the course you should be able to develop, but you should be able to also understand what admins typically do or what BI guys typically do with it. Or if you're an administrator, the goal of the course is to give you how administration works, but also tell you how developers are going to use your course. Or if you're a developer, or if you're a BI guy, to give you that perspective of how admins will do their job and how developers go about doing it. So the idea was to really give perspectives about everything so that you get that complete depth of, what exactly is this and what people are doing with it. So as of now, yeah, we honestly don't have, as of this moment, yeah, we don't have a course that is only for development as such. So yeah. So if I understand, Hadoop is a kind of analyzing large systems. Is there any other primary objective am I missing? So Ramesh says, if I understand correctly, kind of analyzing large sets on a distributed cluster. Yes, you've kind of summed up nearly. Yeah, there are other use cases that people use it, but they are really domain specific. So people do interesting stuff with Hadoop, but they basically do it, as per their domain. Okay. But yeah, I guess you've kind of got the very clear picture of the whole thing. So an important question. Honestly, not much. A bit of Linux commands, just basic commands, and a bit of any programming language. Rest is kind of, is kind of taken care of. So Pradeep's question is, yes, we will, but having said that, it's an ongoing discussion process. So yeah, honestly, there is nothing like, okay, we have 3 hours dedicated only for use cases of Hadoop, but they will pop up and then we'll talk about it. So yes, there is a good amount of mix, but having said that, yeah, as of now, yeah, we don't have like a 4-hour session that talks only of what world is doing with Hadoop. So that's not the perspective. So what we do is, let's say when we talk of development and we are talking of MapReduce specific, then we can tell you, okay, how people are using it to build an inverted index. We can talk about it in that way. But overall, when discussion, so let's say when we are doing a POC with Talend or Pentaho, we would talk about how companies are using it in certain way. So we have so can we have can we set up Hadoop in laptops? Yes. Yes, 100%. I'll be providing a VM that will the lifetime access. So it's on your laptop. You just play with it whenever you want to do it. So we have interesting question. The answer is yes and no. Okay. Yes, because you will certainly become employable in Hadoop. No, because we don't actively help or get you placed. So that's not the model that we really have. So honestly, I don't want to make a false claim that okay, after this course I'll get you assistance or something. Honestly, that's not the truth. So uh, all from our side, what we put effort is in this 40 hours, you will be able to talk to Hadoop to anybody, and you will certainly be conversant with anybody in Hadoop, and basically you will know all the loopholes of it, all the nooks and corners of it, and you can be conversant. The best I can say is you will be capable of attending an interview and clearing it. So few of our students have got placed in a lot of companies. So it's for you to basically take over. But having said that, do we on the sides get with companies and get you placed or try to get you there? Honestly, that's not the model. So then we have an interesting question. So there are like everybody is using Hadoop in their way. I mean, right from social networks to retail to insurance for fraud detection to financial orgs. I mean, there are like thousands of case studies that you can already find around this. So we have a question says the answer is again yes and no. It really depends on what support you're asking for. Okay, it really depends on what support you're asking for. If there are any queries related to course, yes, we can support. But if there is something project specific that you are stuck and you want us to help, we honestly don't have that bandwidth. We don't have that. Unfortunately, we don't have that bandwidth basically, and we are not into consulting as such. Yeah. So will you be providing certification material help for Java? What are the? So we have another question. So guys, if I missed your question, please put it on chat again so that I'll not miss it. The chats are running really fast. So please, pardon me if I missed one of your questions. Please put it again. I'll certainly answer. Okay. Yes, I am personally certified on CDH3 and CDH4 of Cloudera on admin and devs. So I can share my experience and probably add that certification pointers, which I do already during the course. Okay. Any pointers on how to clear? Yeah. So you will have it. You will have it. Yeah. Will there be what industry is working? Just wanted to see use cases here. So Pradeep, what is the okay? Can you play it in a developer? So then we have Srini's interesting question. So can a developer follow admin module? 101%. Don't worry about it. It's going to be super easy to understand. It simply isn't rocket science, it's straightforward. So I guess Ravina, you had a question. If you could just paste it again. I was seeing and I'm getting continuous chat, so can you tell me if Hyperion BI analysis? Okay. So Shripada, you're into Microsoft technologies? Okay. I was looking at Hyper-V. Okay. So okay. So in BI and this thing you have Pig, Hive, and you have Pentaho to Hadoop and Talend to Hadoop. Now, where will it exactly fit in BI analysis? See, Hadoop is a data analysis platform, and BI guys will be the one who crunch most of the numbers. Okay, Hyperion. Yeah, I was actually confusing it with Hyper-V, which is Microsoft's virtualization platform. Yeah, too many technologies coming on. Okay. Do we have any specific requirements in our lab to set up Hadoop? Just one, preferably 4 GB LAPI, and it should be model after, let's say, 2006, because virtualization has to be there on the motherboard. Okay, so let's say 2006. After that, if you have a laptop, you will have virtualization support. Okay, Narasimha. So how will it be used in BI and all that stuff? Well, you have Pig and Hive, and Hadoop is a data analysis tool. So it answers that. Having said that, MSTR, that's MicroStrategy, Pentaho, Informatica, and Oracle, all of them have big data connectors. In fact, Informatica has a, got it? Informatica has a special big data edition. I mean, you can check on the website here. So we have another question. Okay, so you basically have to homework exercises 3 hours. We have sure. So the first thing here, what we talk about is you have MapReduce, you have MR unit, combiners, sorry, partitioners, you have distributed cache. So these are overall concepts that we'll be talking about. Okay, so this is an interesting question. As I'm IT fresher, can you suggest me a career in big data? Now, if you are an IT fresher in India, honestly, it's tough to get in initially. If I was you, probably taking a certain course and getting certified would be it. But even that may still not assure you a job. So learning and getting certified would get you in a very close spot. So does it answer your question? So yeah, getting certified I think would be the best thing, because that proves that you understand the stuff, and yeah, when you know it, if there are certain projects where people really require it quickly, you have your chance. For sure you'll have your chance. Sorry, Informatica is not available for public download. If I had Express Edition, I would have shown, but Informatica does not have one. Okay, if it is launched, it would have launched for sure in let's say last 1 month, but I'm kind of sure that okay, it would have released in last 1 month for sure, because last I was traveling to Middle East and I've met few guys from Informatica and they were planning to launch one. But if it has launched, it would have launched like not more than 2 months from now. Yeah, last 1 month possible. So March I was in Middle East and that time they were not having it for sure. I'm kind of sure that March, April, May I have struggled myself downloading it. So it would have released it maybe last month. Yeah, possible. Yeah. So if they have released one, yeah, still I'll not be able to cover it in this course. Yeah. Okay. coming from Oracle and SQL. Okay. Okay. Alert says honestly being expert in Oracle or SQL Server is the best spot to be in with most big guys are working on making sure DBs they deal with Microsoft has accepted with created Windows and have come up with what called HD Insight. So influence see databases using gaps and being a DB guy is pivotal position. But having said that, it's my personal opinion. Okay, so I may be wrong, so don't beat me up. Okay, but that's how I see it happening. Okay. So does it answer your question, Nikian? Ikina, does it answer your question? Sure. All right, guys, we'll take up this last question, and any other questions, guys, please drop an email to Satish and he shall get back to you guys. Okay. So any question, just drop it to Satish and Satish should respond. Yeah, sure. So for any further queries, please drop an email to, oops, we're going to increase the font size. All right, just drop an email. Okay. There are a few handlers available out of the box and few you may need to go. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the session. Hope you got the complete idea of what this course is going to be about, and hope you got all your queries answered, and hope this was informative. And thanks for joining in. I'm really grateful that you all have decided to spend like 1 hour of your life listening somebody. So really grateful for that. I mean, you know, it's important. Time is really tough to get. So I'm really grateful that you guys came over and you heard me out, gave me a chance to speak, and hopefully see you at the class. Have fun, guys. See you. Thanks to everyone for joining in. Yeah. Thanks, Shiva. Thanks, Ravina. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yes, I'll ask Satish to send you the notes. Yeah, I'll ask Satish to send the notes. Yeah. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks, Venkat. Yeah. Yeah. You can get it from Satish Venkat. Thanks, Sampath. Gary, you can shoot an email to info@techtrainings.com and they will get back to you. Yeah. Sure. Just drop an email and thanks, Rajesh. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Trini. Yeah. Thanks, Sripada. Thanks a lot for joining in, guys. Yeah. Thanks, learner. Oh, thanks, Michael. Oh, it's gonna continue like that for all 40 hours. All right, guys. Yeah. Take care.